Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday message for January 16th of 2022. The title of today's message is A New Way of Viewing Manifesting. However, as much as we call it a new way, it's actually not a new way. It's the old way. It's the way that the masters have known for actually millenniums. When the whole idea of the law of attraction and manifesting, all of that began to come into our realm of consciousness here, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, whenever it was actually to open the way for us to begin the process of moving ourselves once again back into being the fullness of the God source that we already are. We came to this earth with the power to create, and we forgot all about that power. So the universe knows that we, as these human beings that we are, have to begin with simple steps. Teach us that we can actually call into our lives that which we desire. So the law of attraction came to be. And we learned about vision boards and visualizing and holding our energy and all of that. Definitely having something in front of us continuously to remind us what we desire. And, it would be there to help us keep our minds off the negative thoughts that we're having and put them onto the positive, so that whatever we wanted would actually come forward and be created in our lives. And we began to think that we had to hold only positive thoughts and push away all the negative ones so that we would stay in this high vibration of what we wanted if we wanted that to come forth in our lives. The problem with that was that we began to dig ourselves deeper into the third dimensional realm of being without realizing it, because we began to judge ourselves and others if we or they were not manifesting what we or they wanted. We really got hung up on judging our thoughts and actions over and over again. We would begin to get depressed if what we were trying to manifest didn't come in when and as we wanted it. And we actually also began to judge ourselves and others if we or they had an illness or a financial problem come up, if we had a challenge in life. Obviously, we were doing something wrong and we had to raise our vibration to get out of it. We couldn't allow ourselves or others to have challenges in our lives because that wasn't spiritual. After all, truly spiritual people would be able to overcome everything. And if something was out of whack in our lives, then we were doing something wrong. Talk about judgment. Even today, even in unity circles, I still hear people tell others, raise your vibration and then you will get rid of blah, 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 whatever. And I find myself still telling myself that. I myself can still get caught in many ways in the old paradigm way of thinking. And the truth is, vibration is a wave. And waves move by starting as nothing, like in the ocean. And then a wave begins to form. It peaks and then it crashes and it crumbles and it goes back into the ocean to being the ocean again. So waves continuously rise and fall, because a wave never holds itself in one position. It's impossible. So if energy is a wave and our vibration is a wave, and waves are constantly churning, and you think that you can hold that wave at the highest point and not move it, how successful do you really think you're going to be? And that's our vibrational energy. It's a wave. Waves are meant to move, so we can't hold our vibrational wave in a solid way. The moment we think we can just sets us up for more disappointment and more self-condemnation. in this new way of looking at manifesting, which is really the ancient masters way, we become able to welcome all vibrations into our lives. You know, we have actually been taught to be afraid of lower vibrational energy. And the Saint Germain teachings tell us that lower vibrational energy doesn't have the power to move outside of the energy field of the person that created it and is consumed in it. The only way lower vibrational energy can be transferred is if someone else has a vibration, a matching level of that vibration, which generally is a state of some kind of unworthiness. And then vibrational energy is shared because they have energetic fields that are similar. Negative energy doesn't have the power or velocity to move outside the field of the person who did it. However, positive energy has the power and velocity to be transmitted in all energetic directions to all people and energetic fields simultaneously. So anytime you love yourself or are grateful for yourself or are inspired, you are actually sending out higher vibrational energy that affects all people. And you don't have to think a thing about it. Lower vibrational energy is just unprocessed vibrational density or pain and sorrow, judgments, angers, whatever. And those people that are still caught into the belief where you have to hold your energy up no matter what's going on around you are actually those who are not willing to allow their own internal lower vibration come to the surface to be resolved. It's as if they're running away from the pain that they have. So they buy into the idea that they can't let their energetic field down and experience this lower vibrational energy. So it's like you're saying to yourself, I'm afraid of facing the pain that I've already had, but somehow feel that if I face it again, I'm going to recreate it and I can't go through that again. However, what if we were just welcoming it all? I welcome the fear, I welcome the anger, I welcome the jealousy, I welcome the pain, whatever it is inside of me. Just welcome it all because it's a part of you at this moment in time. So you could say, I welcome all feelings and thoughts and doubts. Remember, a wave never stops moving. It comes up, reaches its peak, and then goes back down again. So it's the same with our own thoughts and feelings and vibration. Once we welcome them all, then we don't have to get caught into them. And that is the major key to greater manifestation. So when something comes up, know it's just a wave of energy. It'll come up and it will go away, as long as we don't get caught into it. But what about being around others who are feeling a low vibration at the same time? Well, you are going to be around people who are going to be and will be feeling a low vibration. And instead of running away from them, understand that since you have overcome these feelings, you're being brought in to bring love to them, to assist them in their journey of overcoming these feelings. When you're around someone else who has these feelings that you've pretty much overcome and you begin to feel them again, it's just showing you that it's time once again to bring love to yourself and love to them. Main idea we really must come to truly understand is that love is the underlying energy behind all things. Love can take many forms, but the deeper meaning of real love is that you are safe. And love includes everything. Everyone, everything, every emotion that we ever have. We're still down here on this earth in this third dimension, which means that all feelings, all thoughts, all energies are included. And we need to let go of our guilt and self-condemnations when we have a vibration other than that of pure love. It's about learning to face your own feelings and love them. And then you can be around others who have that same feeling and just be able to love them. You're not being triggered by them anymore. And it's not about trying to raise above the feelings. It's about learning to stay with the feeling, and staying with the feeling, loving it. It then dissolves into the love that we already are. And we need to be done with the life that says a beautiful, wonderful, loving life experience is only available to those that are always of the highest vibration. Because there are so many of us that have been through a lot of traumas in this life. And to even think that we have to bully ourselves or whip ourselves into shape to not feel anything except a high vibration is just undermining ourselves. That makes us want to run away from the releasing of the energies that are being held deep inside of us. And how unfair is that to yourself and to the beautiful spiritual being that you actually are? The other part of this is, if we go out into the world and that we think that somebody else is having an energetically bad day and that we have to remove ourselves from them so their energy doesn't affect us, where does that put us on our spiritual growth? We're actually in judgment and condemnation of other people, and none of us has an enjoyable experience when we are in the presence of those that objectify us. And no one around us can have an enjoyable experience if we objectify them. So no matter what was in your past, no matter what decisions you made, that you now feel guilty or upset about, or how convinced you are that you must be at the lowest vibration because of this past, it's now time to fully embrace the feelings, the thoughts, the emotions, and just love them, accept them, bless them. And fully accepting and loving them, you're actually releasing them back to source, back to the full pure energy they actually are. So just as the world is changing and becoming more spiritually aligned with all the beings on this earth, we as spiritual beings who have been on this path, and some of us for decades, are being challenged with an equal invitation that says the way things are is not how they will be moving forward. The way things worked in the past, the way things, we were taught that worked, is actually never how it really worked, because we can be so attached to what we want, we stop being in the full free flow of spirit in our lives. In the past, all we've been doing is trying to do all this inner work to cause something to come to be, to shift life faster than what it was meant to shift. So when something didn't happen the way we thought it should, we blamed ourselves and actually felt worse about ourselves. So let's not stop putting judgment and condemnation on judgment and condemnation that we've been holding for decades. Shame, condemnation, judgment, guilt, whatever, because you can't figure out how to make things work or make things change. And that's why we need to explore the path of surrender, which is another key to this new way of manifesting. The path that says maybe these things going on are things that are here to teach me, not so I can be in a hurry and learn the lesson and not manifest it again, but to finally come to that point inside of us where we realize that everything about us is here to teach us, and how it's actually making us into a better version of ourselves, whether we get what we want at the moment we want it or not. Because no single thought or feeling inside is going to take away from the beauty and the power and the gift being the spiritual being that you truly are when you are dedicated to your path of enlightenment. We're all going to have moments of the peak wave, and you will have moments where the waves crash down. Some great waves rise and fall peacefully and gently, and some waves rise up high and crash down back into the ocean. And this is life. Life happens. So learning to accept whatever's going on, whatever that energetic vibration is at the time, learning to just accept it, you actually start to begin to ride the wave. And this is another one of those keys to manifesting in a greater way. Ride the wave. Just let it be. You know, if you're a surfer, you ride the wave as much as you possibly can because you are on top of it. You don't get caught into how big or little the wave is. You accept the wave as a wave and you ride it out. In the end, it doesn't affect you. You are already rising above the wave because you are riding the wave. So if we think of our thoughts and feelings themselves as being vibration and waves, then we have to understand that thoughts and feelings do not define vibration. Vibration is determined by the relationship we have with thoughts and feelings and circumstances. We can say that something shouldn't be happening, or this is unfair, this is wrong. But there is a certain point when your nervous system, as Matt Kahn says, has been transformed by loving what arises, where you start to live in relationship with thoughts and feelings and circumstances. You may not like what happens, and it may not be fair on a human level, but there's a deeper relationship where the harmony you have with your emotions and thoughts and circumstances actually transform the way you experience your thoughts, feelings, and circumstances. And that's when you begin to realize that it's not the thoughts or feelings or circumstances that are making you feel a certain way. It's actually the relationship with you have with those things. So if you don't attach a belief that things have to be a certain way, how much relief can you feel in your body? It's that relief that actually creates a higher vibration in you without trying to create a higher vibration. So what would it be like to just for a moment think and feel what you think and feel, and no longer have to worry about how is this affecting what I want to manifest? And once again, though, the key is to not get caught into the thoughts and feelings. Think them, feel them, let them go. They're a wave. They come up and then they'll be gone if we don't catch into them. You may not have the circumstances that you want to have, but you don't have to make it into a fear-based game that says, if I don't change my thoughts and feelings, my circumstances are never going to change. This is about feeling your energy, freeing your energy, feeling it and freeing it to just be able to rise and fall with what is and not be caught into the rising of falling of what is. You know, the old paradigm sets us up to responding in a negative, judgmental way about ourselves. And the new paradigm sets us up to respond with peace and love and flow. We want to now come from the viewpoint that gives us the most expanded view of life. And as more advanced spiritual beings, we automatically raise our own vibration when we include all others and respect others. Because when we do that, it is we who then become respected. Not because it's going to impress the universe. The universe already knows who and what you truly are. It's really for you to realize who you truly are and to begin to live from that. So if you're going to begin the exploration of yourself and to begin to fully accept all aspects of yourself, just go ahead and look inside to see what's going on inside of you and become familiar and accepting of all your thoughts, feelings, and circumstances. No judgments of anything. And then, as Matt Kahn states, come with flowers and compliments for all the versions of you that you meet along the way. We are energetically sensitive beings. And if we cannot accept the energy of another, it just means that we have not learned to accept that same energy inside of ourselves. We have all vibrations there are inside of us. And that's why we are down here on planet Earth, to experience all vibrations, not to get caught into them, but to learn to accept those vibrations inside of us and then withdraw from the energy that holds us in when we become more clear that our connection to source, spirit, God, whatever, is who and what we really are. We're cultivating emotional sensitivity. It's one of the greatest strengths known on this planet. And some of us may not be at that level of strength yet, but our nervous system is actually strengthened more and more and more to where we can be at that state as we awaken in consciousness to the truth of who we are. And that's when our thoughts, feelings, situations, circumstances no longer trigger us as they did in the past. It will get to the point where you can feel whatever emotion you're feeling and understand this is actually a strength of immeasurable quality that is inside of you. It's the strength where you can stand in anyone's fear or anger and it doesn't trigger you. That's what we are learning to do together. Manifesting comes out of surrender. Manifestation is being in a big enough space to have the entire universe work its magic through you. And manifestation can become something no more complicated than saying to the universe, hey, I would like this, and whenever you bring it to me, I know it's going to be the right and perfect time. And that's it. You don't have to focus on it. You don't have to visualize it. You don't have to say a mantra about it. You don't have to do anything. You just have to state it and you move on. It can be so simple as just stating your desire, putting it out to the universe, surrendering it all, and then just riding the wave up and down until it comes into your field. But it's about being fully free of all connection to energetic forms of any sort. Freeing your own energy and vibration to be the full channel of the pure love of source on this planet. The universe has been created to be a universe of holy perfection, a perfection that is constantly in the flow of oneness. Render, release, relax, love what arises. Because when loving what arises, you are constantly in the state of love. No matter what's coming up in your experience, internally, externally, it doesn't matter. When you're constantly in loving what arises, it doesn't matter what you're feeling because love is the highest energy. And when you're loving what arises, you're automatically then in the higher energy of pure love. And one of the central facets of our existence is making peace with all our emotions, all our vibrations. And that's why we came down here, to step out of judgment and condemnation of whatever it is, most especially ourselves. For whenever we're thinking and feeling and experiencing, if we are in a state of love, we are automatically raising our vibration to the highest level possible for us at that moment in time. You're here to make peace with all emotional waves, everything. We're here to make peace with them and just allow them to be as they are. And when we allow them to be as they are, then we are not putting any more energy into them to help support them to be what they are. So actually loving what arises helps to dissipate the energetic pattern, the wave, the thought form, whatever it is. The high enlightened masters have come to understand this. In the Saint Germain writings, he states this concept in different ways. But the bottom line is stay unattached to whatever is rising. Just let it be. This puts you and keeps you in the constant flow of source. And once you are in the pure constant flow of source, then with just a thought, you bring forth what you desire. As we become more and more welcoming and accepting of all that is within us, the less we are attached to them. The less we are attached, the more of the pure energy of source flows through. You are a beautiful spiritual being that came to this earth to play. Create as you wanted to create. We just forgot that. We got caught up in the energies of this earth and began to think that we were subject to those energies. And we're now in the process of learning that we actually have power over those energies, not by forcing anything, but by accepting it all, by being caught, not by being caught into any of it. And by doing so, being able to completely maintain your full connection with source, as source on this planet. Source flows in and through you all the time. When we stay in that source, not by pushing anything away, but by accepting it all, we manifest clearly and cleanly as love is our guide. So here is to you, as you begin to surrender more and more of your thoughts, feelings, emotions, just back to source as it is, learning to surrender it all, learning to accept it all. So may your manifestations be more in alignment with Spirit who is in you as you. So many blessings, everyone. Thank you for letting me share this message with you. Namaste, everyone. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. God bless you all.